Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. She didn't have to introduce herself. Or does she still have to? Yeah. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in Trailer 2, in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at noon sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterward, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Okay, interesting. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Okay, so T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. I don't know, I feel like this one's fishy for some reason, but they did, right? I guess. I'm confused. As I thought. You claimed you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? I'm confused too. What? Look at this. It's a plate? This plate was on the table in the employee room. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Oh, right, and their plates didn't have bones on them, did they? Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bones too. You ate a boneless steak. You didn't eat steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Clever. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai, picking on Salmonella, meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Order! Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak. Oh, wait. I think I see what happened now. Powers was probably supposed to go and meet with Vasquez, and Hammer drugged him to go in his place because she knew Vasquez was going to try and kill Powers. So he sacrificed himself for Powers. Wow. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Well, not exactly, but I know what you mean. But, Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Mr. Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. You couldn't, could you? I don't know how. I think you couldn't, could you? Right? You couldn't, could you? Pretty much anyone would have difficulty wielding it. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. Oh. Wait, what? What? It wasn't? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon because it was damaged. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear was broken, that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Okay. Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? Oh, it's her. If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what the weapon was that was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the murder weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Oh. Really? Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jackhammer standing at the top of the stairs. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to who was speaking. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. Okay, well, now I'm just confused because all my assumptions are wrong. Mr. Wright continued. It's 2:30 on the day of the murder. Miss Steve Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer himself had done 5 years ago. Though, whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. I don't know about that. Besides, she looks like she has another ace up her sleeve. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate costume, no less? Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the span of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? Yeah, that's the one thing that's been bugging me this whole entire time. The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Plus, the way was blocked, as we've already determined. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She couldn't deal with it. I bet she could move it. She had another way. She had another way, maybe? What if she had another way to carry the body other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. With the van. That's why she went in the van. It wasn't because of fatigue. She needed to move Jack Hammer's body to to Studio 1. I was about to say the scene of the crime, but it wasn't. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterward, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manila was a conspirator? Of course he was, right? Of course Sal Manila has to have been a conspirator. The body had to have been placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood, so they burned it in the incinerator? They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Handy that they have an incinerator on the studio, I guess. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Huh? I do? You all seem unsatisfied. So, what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost, something like that? Usually people, they lose their mind at this point. I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? We're all extremely unsatisfied right now. Who can say? Ah, there it is. Huh? Are you sure I did it? Mr. Wright, you just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Oh boy. What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? He doesn't know what to think. Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? You did it, Vasquez. Testify again, or no further questions. Let's have her testify again, because we can't say she did it, and we can't let her go. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Darn. It comes so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Huh? What? Edgeworth? Sorry, I'm stunned. What? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't? Oh, the humor in this game is great. I love it. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Indeed, verily I say, ergo, I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth? He's on our side for some reason, and I love it. After finding the body, I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Let's do it. Why did you ask to be left out of proceedings? You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Well, nothing says that she can't do that, though. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. See, I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Press harder. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Wait, what? Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh, yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. When did Edward become the defense? I love it. Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? Is it possible for someone to be both? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me! So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. We have to find something to peg on her here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him! I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Do I have to present? Wait. This is what doesn't make sense, right? Right? You knew that Hammer was injured? Was she there for that? I don't remember. I don't think she was. Was she? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. Oh, right. It was Will Powers. Wait, what did she say? She said... Oh, she said the wrong name. She said Hammer, didn't she? I didn't even catch that. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Yeah, that's a good point. I already said it. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. How? I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you heard Mr. Manella wrong, or you saw Hammer limping? She must have... Because... it's the second one. Isn't it? Yeah, you saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes, because... I'm going back to my original assumption that Will Powers was supposed to get killed, not Mr. Hammer. Maybe? Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Oh, and when was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. And that's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Gotcha. Order, order, I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Apparently I can't speak. Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. She will. Somehow. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it. Okay. I have proof and I'll show it to you. I think that picture from 5 years ago is the proof I need. 5-year-old photo, present that. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. Oh, this is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. Oh, maybe it's who was killed? Because we don't know who it was that Mr. Hammer killed. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around? What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. I don't think I have any evidence for this, do I? No, I really don't. She had no motive? She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? Oh. Wow. It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. I said that earlier. That was one of the options I had. One of the predictions I had. What? What? Edgeworth can't believe it. Also, those Edgeworths in the last line. My bad. Your Honor. Jackhammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jackhammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jackhammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jackhammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him for all those years. And like I said before, if he was, I guess, maybe because she was blackmailing him, he couldn't just leave. I got the feeling she was going to snap that. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yeah, she's still a murderer, though, right? Even though it was self-defense. Yes, I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the stairs. From the trailer stairs. Oh, this was the event 5 years ago? Manuel? Manuel! I'm guessing the actor who was impaled was her lover or something. Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing action scene and... No, Manuel! No, don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Hooray! We did it again, with the help of Edgeworth, which feels really weird to say. That is all. Court is adjourned. Wow. So yeah, I got the feeling. That was one of the predictions I had. He went there to try and kill Dee to get the blackmail off of him. And she pushed him and impaled him. You would think after it happened the first time they would have gotten rid of the fence, but I guess they didn't want to touch the set. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. Bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why didn't Mr. Hammer want to blame me? That is a good question, and I'm not entirely sure. I know it. I also just noticed that Mr. Hammer has the same animations as Larry Butts, which is a little bit weird to me. Oh, wait, that was the wrong thing. Oops. Okay, we're back here. I'm gonna actually choose the correct option this time, show evidence. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because you had more fans than he did. He wanted his stardom back. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in kids' shows, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... What? Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Hello. You want to explain what happened in court today? Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That wasn't too bad, Edgeworth. Neither are we. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Did we know him from school or something? Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Well, geez. Mr. Wright? Is this guy your friend? No. What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now, we are, I guess. Huh? Is the story ever going to explain this? How do you get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closes on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Okay, maybe we'll find out about that later. It's definitely not going to be the last time we see Edgeworth. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. They did the Pink Princess one. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We get to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. The end. I guess the thing between Phoenix Wright and Edgeworth will just never be explained. But that is the Turnabout Samurai completed. We now have Turnabout Goodbyes. Well, we'll start that one in the next episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys did, give this video a like. Also be sure to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter, as well as support my Patreon. And check out my reaction channel. All those links will be in the description below. And subscribe for more. And if you are subscribed or a new subscriber right now, be sure to hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload videos. This is ViolarulesGaming, signing off. Talk to you later.